Excuse me. Hello. Welcome to my Thursday afternoon Facebook Live. Today I'm sharing with you a project from our class about masking, when we learnt all sorts of ways of doing masking as taught to us in the catalogue. And this is one of the ways, which is using masking paper. Masking paper comes like this in the catalogue. It's a fairly innocuous looking package, but the paper is quite thin and is sticky in the middle, and you peel off both sides to create a mask, much as the same as you would with a post-it note. Okay, so that's similar sort of thing that a post-it note does. So we're creating a scene, ocean scene, which I really love, with this sea turtle stamp set, and then using lots of blues in the catalogue. And the other thing that's exciting about this stamp set is that it is a reversible stamp set, so you can use both sides of each of the images. All right. My colours are basic white for the card base, okay, and then I've got one white layer with a As Your Afternoon layer for the front, and I've already done my greeting, congratulations this time, and then one white layer with the As Your Afternoon for the inside, which I'll just set aside. So all I'm going to do, concentrate at the moment, is this one at the front here. It is... I can't remember the measurements, but we're going to create that framework so it actually looks like a frame around the imagery. It also gives us less that we have to sponge. Now here are my pieces from the first time I made this card. So let's see if I can use these again to create my mask again. So I'm just popping this down. One thing I will say about the masking paper is that it is very, very sticky, and you'll see pieces of thread on my masks here, because what I like to do is with a scrap, and I'll show you on one of them in a minute, I like to put it down and lift it up several times to reduce its stickiness, so that when you take it off your work, it doesn't tear your work, because it very easily can tear the outside cardstock. There we go. There's that. And then one more. Okay. And then I'm going to also add my moonlight. Now, I said I was going to show you how to reduce the stickiness of this. So there is actually on each of the sheets of the masking paper a little divider, and it is good if you can work your, cut out your shapes using the divider, but with this little moon I couldn't do that. So that's just, I've just peeled the backing off there, and then I'm going to lift it up and reduce its stickiness about 6 times. Now this is just a cotton, very mouldy, as you can see. Used to be a napkin, now it's one of my cloths for crafting. I like to have a cloth with me all the time for picking up spills, and yeah, that probably, I didn't lost count, I was chatting. Okay, so that's hopefully reduced some of its stickiness, and I'm going to put that about there on my scene. All right, I've got a little piece of, I think, fabric there, which will affect my line, so I'll just remove that. All right, first of all I'm going to use Balmy Blue for my sky. I'll just pop you over the other side, and just picking up, ooh, cloudy sky. There's a lot of ink on there already. I probably don't even need to ink it up. Just go a bit carefully, Julia. Now, because I'm going to do other stuff as well, I'm not too worried about blotchiness, and besides, the sky is never, well, this sky today at our house is actually white. It's not even blue. Very rainy and cold. But a sky has other details as well. Alright, so that'll do for my sky. But while I've got that there, what I'm going to do now is using my Whisper White ink, I am going to re-ink my ink pad. So when you buy white, it comes with a blank ink pad and your ink refill, and you have to put ink on to refreshen your pad. Most times you have to use it, okay? So I just want to refresh my pad, squeeze my ink on there, and I'm going to use this little fish stamp here. So one side's the fish, but if you put it on reverse, it's sort of a cloudy shape. See, like that? So I'm just going to stamp a few little clouds in my sky. There we go, nice cloudy sky. Another one over the moon. There we go. So that's that done. I'll just clean off my stamp and close my ink. Now that I've done the sky detail, I'm going to add in my horizon line with another piece of masking paper and use Azure Afternoon for my ocean. Now I am using the glass mat to put my excess ink in, but I actually want a bit of intensity of colour, so I can pick up some of the colour from my glass mat there actually, which works quite nicely. Here we are. Nice little blotch you've got there, Jules. A bit more oceany. Right. And while my Azure Afternoon is there, I'm going to flip over my little fishy stamp and stamp lots of fish swimming in the water. There we go. And maybe flip you over and do some coming from this direction. There we are. I think that's all for my masking. Now comes the exciting part, the big reveal, and because this has been used before, it's coming off quite nicely. I'm just going to put that back inside my stamp case. Use my trusty cloth to clean my mat so that I don't get extra ink where I don't want it to be. Peeling that off very carefully. One. And I'm sorry if I'm not replying to anyone today. I can't seem to see any comments when I dial up my other device for some reason. So, okay. There we are. And the top frame. Oh, I've gone under a little bit and over a little bit. What can I do to camouflage those bits? There's my sun, moon. That looks pretty cool. But we want to add a bit more detail, make it a bit more oceany. So I will do my turtle first. So I'm going to stamp my little turtle side up using Misty Moonlight. Okay. And I'm going to stamp him off the side as well. And then clean my stamp, and then because it's a reversible one, flip it over and use that exact same stamp and some Pool Party. Ink up that one, line it up straight over the top of my turtle and colour him in. There we are. Isn't that cool the way that works? Those reversible stamps are really awesome. Now we need our white ink again. And I'm using a blender pen. Blender pen. So this is different to our stamping blends, which come in a set of two, a light and a dark, when they're alcohol based. This one is a blender pen that you can use it for colouring in watercolour pencils and using ink as well. And I like to use it with white ink especially. And I'm going to freehand some reflection on the water in a big triangle design. There we go. Okay, clean the tip off there, and that's done. Only very subtle, but I think it really looks cool. And then I'm going to use my Wink of Stella to put extra shine as well. Just get my cloth here and squeeze it a bit to make sure that the Wink of Stella is coming right to the tip, so it's nice and juicy. I can see it coming down the barrel there. All right, I'm gonna fill in my shiny moon, even go on the outside of the moon a bit, and do some, whoop, there we go, lots of shimmer in the ocean. Okay, I'll set that aside to dry. I love the look of the Wink of Stella on the ocean. While that's drying, I'm going to do my inside. Now the inside of this card, I've just got another greeting, but I thought this time for the inside of my card, for this one, I would just stamp the fish and do some more blending. Because this one says congratulations, so I want it to be a card to use for any occasion. There we go. There's my fishies. And I'm not re-inking my blending brush, just using what's already on the brush and what's on my glass mat here. I'm just adding some colour to the inside of my card there. Okay, maybe a little bit of blue for the sky, just on the edge. I haven't re-inked it at all, just using what's on the brush. It's amazing how much ink there does remain in the brushes. So there we go, let's start putting this together. Pop you inside. Plenty of room to write a greeting. Pop that inside my card. And then I'm going to pop this one up on dimensionals for the front of my card. And because my panel is still a bit wet there, I'm going to be quite careful with how I put on the next layer and use a different method of sticking it on. There we go. So there's my Azure Afternoon frame, and I'm going to put, and I don't usually do this, I'm going to put my adhesive on the destination so that I don't have to turn over this layer and accidentally smudge the wet bits. There we go. And last of all, got my greeting here. Congratulations. Now it's quite skinny little piece. I've heat embossed that using our white embossing powder. Oh, lost my scissors. I'll just have to tear. I can't see them anyway. Just using an edge piece there, which makes it super easy. And peel the back off that. And pop my congratulations about there. And last of all, I'm going to add some pearls, flat pearls. When we did this project in our class, a couple of people made comment that that looked like it was coming out of his bottom. So we'll put pearls in just along the base here to continue that lovely shimmery theme. And another one there. There we go. So that is a little bit of masking, creating a frame. And I'll show you my inspiration for this card from the catalogue. On the masking page, well, at the back of the catalogue are these fantastic pages with great ideas. So there they've used the masking paper to create a frame for the little butterfly card. And they've used the brayer to add the colour, but I found it easier to use the blending brushes because I've practiced with them a lot more than the brayer. There we go. So thank you for joining me. If you did join me, I'll be sure to reply to all of your comments when I'm finished. See you again next week. Bye.